Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Listen to Your Parents podcast. I'm Matt with
Jen,
my wife, and we're here in Pittsburgh. We're here to just, things are weird, aren't they? Yeah, very weird. Yeah. We're all stuck at home. We're all whatever self-quarantining. That's probably too official of a word, but anyway, we're all here, and the one thing that we really lack nowadays is adult-to-adult interaction. So we've gathered around another batch of parents to just kind of chat and let off some steam and have a bridge, and just kind of enjoy each other's company. So let's go down the line and let's see everyone who's here. First up, it's very special. I have convinced my younger sister Sarah to join us. So hello to Sarah. And Sarah, can you let everybody know real quick what is your life work situation right now?
So my life situation is I work in healthcare, so I'm still going to work, but we're doing it on we've separated our work service. So I work for neurosurgery, and we've split into two cohorts. So we have two groups of providers who are working in tandem, but who never actually interact, so that if one group gets contaminated, the other can pick up the slack or can still work. And to do that, we're doing a 7 off, 7 on work week. So I'm currently on my last 2 days of my off week. Next week's my on week. So I have had a blessed 7 days home with my children. Ages just turned 3 this week, and about to turn 1 next month. So that is my
you have your hands
status.
full.
Wow. I do.
Indeed.
So it's a good time. And yes.
Sorry.
What's that?
That voice you hear, that is my old work pal, Don, and his wife Lori, who are also joining us. So why don't you two let everybody know kind of what your deal is right now?
Go ahead, Laura.
Me? I work for my parents, so I go to work once a week in Ohio, a little less than an hour away, but it's been worth it. I've been doing that since a little after he was born, when I quit KDK, and hanging out with Dawn now, who is Retired.
Ooh.
Kinda.
Kinda. Yeah.
Officially on April, right?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
You're bought out for now.
Yeah, I hate the retired word quite yet. Yeah. Not quite ready yet. Yeah, I left KK in May of last year. I took a voluntary buyout, basically to be with our son. You know, we've got a 9 or 10-year-old now, and you know, I saw him on weekends basically because I worked evenings, and I'd had enough of that. And that opportunity came up, and I took it. So
Cool.
we're able to
Thanks for that,
survive
Kevin.
and eat. Obviously, I'm eating well, so. But I spend a lot of time.
Dawn and I used to torment each other when we worked together, but those days
I
are
love
long,
work.
long
I
done
love
now.
working
So.
with you, Matthew.
Yes.
We were just talking about
Me
that
too, eventually, so it was great.
We were
I
just
did.
talking
I'm
about
sorry, I
that
don't want to
this
get too
evening,
technical,
yeah.
but yeah, I was detecting a little bit of an echo. Our man Mike Sorg, who's on the tech side of this, is going to jump in and yell at us if he feels like the echo is too much, and I'm sure he'll.
Okay, maybe I'm
be able to
talking
soldier
too
through
loud
that.
to get.
Yeah.
I'm
This
coming
hands
over
down the
noise,
most
probably.
tech savvy thing I've ever done in my life. I don't even.
Yeah, this is really sweet.
It's working.
We could not do this alone without the great people at Sorgatron Media, so we thank them always. Cheap plug.
Thanks, Sorgatron.
And my friend from college, who is now a long time ago, anyways. But Adam, how are you doing? Let everybody
Longer than
know
we
what's
want to
on
admit,
for you.
right, Matt? Longer than we want to admit,
Long
right,
time
Matt,
ago.
with the college
Felt like
thing.
only
Long
yesterday,
time ago. Yeah, but we still look
Long
like we could be in college, right? I mean, that works now.
Oh,
No,
You do. I don't know about
yeah,
me, but
totally. Wow, you're all too kind. The work-life situation right now, my wife and I are both working from home, which we're fortunate that both our companies have remote capabilities. So I process mortgage loans, and she does web development for PPG. So we're both home. I was sent home as of Friday. My wife's actually been working from home for over a year now. So this is like, okay, well, now everybody's just joining me at the house. So we have a third grader and twin boys in kindergarten. Our school district is doing remote learning. So yeah, we're home and we're working, but we're also teaching. So some of the days get a little crazy. We like the days when they're off. They're not on every day, at least not yet.
Yeah.
But so we're doing that. And, you know, I feel at this point blessed in the sense that we're both still employed and our companies are continuing their work, and, you know, that the kids are able to keep their schooling going. You know, not everyone is in that boat right now. So we're fortunate. And that's where we're at right now in a nutshell.
So Donna and Lori, what's the school situation for you guys right now with yours?
We are in West Allegheny. We start remote learning on Monday.
Yeah.
So the teachers have been working really hard trying to figure that all out. And
We've been doing other
sending-
work.
Yeah,
him.
he's been playing on his Xbox for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, but it starts for real on Monday. He has to do the work to make it out of fourth grade. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours
Gotcha, Michael.
started on Monday.
Yeah, it's been rough
Oh, the
without
boy.
the structure of actual school. So
Mhm.
even homeschool, it's been, yeah, a lot of stir craziness going on around here. And
Yeah.
of course, Sarah, you're our darling niece is usually would be in preschool, but that's not happening right now, right?
No,
Or
so we
daycare.
had her in daycare 2 days a week, which was like they do like all of like the learning things and all of the like preschool. Is preschool a thing? I don't know. Anyways, she was going to daycare 2 days a week. She loved it. She misses Miss Desiree like crazy. So shout out to Tender Care on Coal Valley Road because she misses them. She misses y'all so much. So we've been trying. We have made a schedule though.
Tell us about
That's
the
a bold
schedule. I want to
move.
hear about the schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
hard.
It's so hard. So actually, Jen can attest to the one day we were video chatting, and it was 10:30, and I said, "All right, I have to go. Free plays over. It's time for arts and crafts."
Arts and crafts time.
So Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a, but it's tough. Like I honestly, all the credit in the world to them because trying to find activities for a 3-year-old is not easy. But I would say we're at like 50% success rate for the schedule, keeping to the schedule. So,
For a 3-year-old, that's not bad. For a 3-year-old.
No, we're probably like 25% nap success rate though. So that's a little less good.
Oh, I remember the days of naps. They were a glorious time.
Yeah.
They were a glorious time.
I'm back there.
I love naps.
Dawn, you'll be getting back to that soon, I'm sure. You'll
Right.
be napping is what I meant to say. Yeah.
That's exactly what I meant. Yeah.
One talking point I wanted to talk about: birthdays. 2 birthdays in our family this week, and I don't want to make this all about the Carlin's family, Sarah, but ours just turned 13. Yours turned 3, and
Yep.
I don't know how ours handled it, but ours could not have been more miserable on his birthday. He did not enjoy the fact that there was 0 interaction on his birthday.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, we weren't going
You know
out to
what?
dinner.
I lost.
We weren't going out to
Yeah.
dinner. We weren't going to see Aunt Emily and Aunt Sarah and his cousins.
And then you just kept checking in with us. He's like, so we're not doing anything. Oh, great. So it's like,
We
yeah, you
just
feel
strove.
bad, but I mean,
We strove for sensory overload all day. So that was we went on like the offensive and we did sensory overload all day. So we had like a present in the morning at breakfast that she could open. And then we had like a special like post nap. I say nap because she didn't actually post nap. Like we set up a tent with all of her presents and then we only opened one and we saved the rest for after dinner and we had like Frozen and we had a dance party and then we opened presents and then like and we just like went like we just kept like all day. So we tried to make it like just a really like offensive birthday technique, if that makes sense. And I'd say we were pretty successful except when she asked where everybody was and we just said that they were busy and we would see them later, which is very thick. But she does. She asked for Uncle Matt and Aunt Jen, and Aunt Me and Uncle Dustin, and Noah and Mason. And do you know what she does? She sighs like Mason now. She spent too much time with him. Whenever I tell her no to something, she goes, ugh, fine. She
She's a
got that
sigher.
from your kid.
it's amazing the
We got
little
weirdos.
things you're picking up on when you're with your kids 24/7.
Well,
You
it's
know,
it's better than
Yeah.
that, and I'll take that rather than this is suffering.
Well, and we
By
could sort of
Mason.
trick Lucy, whereas, well, fair. But I feel like with the birthday thing, we could kind of trick Lucy, whereas Noah was like definitely harder for you guys to trick into like everything's fine. Because I think he understands things a lot more than maybe Lucy does.
Yeah, it was more getting him to accept the fact that it's not fine. Since we're talking about the things that our kids are doing that are driving us nuts, Adam, since you have a very unique twin dynamic, I'm wondering what kind of crazy stuff is happening in your house.
Honestly, I mean, the boys are fine actually. They just do their thing together for the most part. Ryan is the one climbing the walls the most. He wants to get outside. He wants to do stuff. Owen is more of an independent player, so he can, if he gets bored with something, he just goes on to the next thing. He goes and plays by himself. Amelia likes to be inside, so this is her dream come true. She's sleeping in, she's watching TV and iPad all day, so this is her best life as far as our daughter goes. I think Ryan's the one who misses the outside the most. Today we got him outside for at least an hour after lunch, after their schoolwork was done. So they played outside since it was nice out. But yeah, birthdays, I don't know. The boys, theirs is coming up at the end of May. We'll see if we're still stuck inside at that point. My wife's is coming up in early April, but she said I'll just stay 35. I said okay, so she's fine with that. She has no problems. She's sad she'll miss out on her Dairy Queen cake. That's about it. So, but yeah, it's the kids are handling it well so far. Now, a month or two from now, we'll talk again and we'll see. But so far, they seem to be, they're enjoying it. They're home with mommy and daddy. They're playing. They're getting to do what they like to do for the most part. So, so far so good, I guess.
That makes me feel better because I feel really bad at times because of what they may or may not be missing, but I think they're actually enjoying it. Like you said.
I think. Yeah. I think, I don't know, for me personally, I think you just got to accentuate the positive of this. When you're home with your family, I mean, we all go to work and we all do things. We always wish more time with our family. Well, here we go. So everybody quit your complaining, enjoy the time, and try and make it fun. And, and hopefully at the end of it, 10 years from now, you go, well, you know what? That was a nice time we spent together. The reason for it sucked. We couldn't go do certain things, but hopefully the extra together time is ultimately a good thing, hopefully, if you're living right, I guess.
That's funny. Talked about what your kids will think about it 10 years from now. I've been thinking about that myself. Like, what are our kids going to think about this? How are our kids going to remember this?
Suffering.
This is suffering. This is the year that
I'm going to remember Mason Mania. Let me tell you something. I'm going to remember Mason Mania 10 years from now.
Oh, yes. Mason Mania.
And I wasn't even there, and I feel like I was there.
Well, I mean, it's crazy, like, what the kids will do to just kind of amuse themselves. Like, our oldest has essentially taken over the dining room and turned it into, like, his amateur art studio. Mm-hmm. And our youngest is just taking action figures and just doing one wrestling show after another in his imagination upstairs. And it's crazy.
But he's writing them down.
They are truly idle minds, and they're just being left to their own device. That's why we need. I'm kind of bummed we haven't gotten any schoolwork yet.
Oh, it's coming.
I want that schoolwork.
Yeah. Well, get ready because apparently it's coming for you guys.
It's coming Monday.
See, we've already been doing it. I mean, again, every school district is different, right? But ours is doing it. They're basically taking this in like 2-week chunks. So they said, okay, for these first 2 weeks, we're going to use your spring break, and then our district, in their infinite wisdom, instituted these flex days for when we had snow days this year. So they had like pre-planned learning packets they sent home for all the kids, and there was like 4 or 5 of them, however many there were. And they said if we have a snow day, we may declare a flex day. Well, when this started, they said, okay, we're going to use all our flex days. So that's what we just finished the last one today, and then they've gotten everybody an iPad. Everybody got an iPad this week. They coordinated all of that. We picked those up, and then we're going to start virtual teaching middle of next week. So a few days each week will be devoted to. And teachers will do like a FaceTime thing with the kids. They will do it live. I think they're recording it, so if you don't catch it live, it doesn't matter. Whenever you can get on and do it on your iPad, and then I'm sure they'll have assignments after that and whatever. But
how many hours?
But they're it's 3 days next week, and I think 4 days the week after before Easter, and then I think we'll take it from there. But I know they're not making them do anything on Good Friday or the day after or the Monday after Easter. I know that. I think the hope is with the next projected possible date back to school would be the Tuesday after Easter. I don't think that's going to happen, but they haven't planned any further than that right now. But I'm curious to hear what other districts are doing, because I think it is kind of like depending on what their resources are and what the superintendents want, and and all the teachers want. I think everybody's taking it day by day. So,
yeah.
So what was what was the toughest part about kind of getting your kids on the school time? Kind of, did you learn anything from those first day or so of trying to get them on that maybe you can lend us maybe?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you. I mean, I know we learned from the first snow day. They were more raring to go in the morning, so start them as early as you can. I mean, we all got to start our work days and whatever, but get them going early and take it from there. I mean, if you're on a schedule with the teachers FaceTiming or something, obviously you got to go by that. But just if they're on in the morning and you get the kids on, get them on there live and get them started. Because the longer in the day they play and they do other things, the less they're going to want to sit there and do school stuff, obviously. That's any kid, I think. The earlier you get them started, the better. There's less distractions. And then you tell them, look, when you're all done, you can play the rest of the day and not worry about it. So, And that seems to work for the most part. We're outnumbered 3-2, so it helps. Percentage on what?
25%, anything like that?
Right. Listen, we're outnumbered 3-2, so we're just trying to survive it, honestly. I know my wife's glad that I'm here now to help with that stuff that I was able to get sent home for this week, because at least I was here to help with the schooling stuff. So it's just, we just kind of do it. You just kind of jump in and do it and try to not get yelled at by your boss while you're doing it. And it's, we're all working from home. Yay. But, there's not just work. You got to teach your kids too. So, it's a challenge that our parents never had to deal with, I don't think. So.
No.
If this would have been in our day, it would have been, I would have never graduated from high school. As far as my parents just let me do absolutely nothing forever.
So what question were we? How do you think our kids are going to remember this?
One long snow day?
Like the Great Depression? like how are they gonna? Because it's not like, remember that winter where it snowed and we were home from school for 3 days, but we still led right down the street, but whoop-de-doo,
During Snowmageddon, Mason was just a baby.
Yeah,
he was real little, so I mean they don't really remember that. But as far as
I guess it depends on how long it goes, maybe, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Really long,
I think
trying to think back in my own mind of something that compares. It's like not really anything.
I don't think I have anything that compares.
I mean,
this is unusual.
I mean, there's certain feelings that go with it that maybe remind me of certain things that have happened in our lifetime, but the actual experience of this has never ever happened. I mean, it's as unprecedented in our lifetime. I think it's crazy. And I think every household's going to be different how their kids remember it. I think but to that point, I guess it's just how are mom and dad handling it. I think that's how they'll handle it. I think. I mean, if they see us all freaking out and crazy, they're going to remember it as a crazy, scary time, right? But if we're all calm and cool and collected and trying to make it as normal as possible, hopefully they'll remember the good parts of it and not the fact that they, couldn't see their friends for however long it is and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to the virus, we're pretty calm. When it comes to everything else that comes with being confined into a house, not so much.
I would say today was my first day of teaching myself.
You did.
In the bedroom.
I'm out.
You had it. Huh?
Get down here.
I gave myself a timeout. The dog wouldn't leave me alone. Mason was whining. Noah was just talking back. If I said the sky was blue, I would be the biggest stupid idiot in the world that moment. And I watched Days of Our Lives in my bedroom.
That's a good way to cleanse.
And it was a fantastic time.
Nothing wrong with that.
A little self-care there.
Self-care. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. If you're looking for something to stream, check out Tiger Kings on Netflix. It's crazy.
We're so
That's what I've heard.
We're so behind. My husband and I just had a date night where we watched out of our Netflix queue. We finally saw Ant-Man and the Wasp and Into the Spider-Verse. Those were our two big quarantine movies that we just
so we're like
watched.
late 2018 here. Okay, so you're not quite a full 2 years behind. It could be worse.
Those were, and it was a big to do. Like we're putting the phones down, we're turning on Netflix, we made popcorn, and just hunkered down for a movie night. But yeah, that's how far back we are in our Netflix queue. So we're digging ourselves out. That's pros. You got to look to the bright side of
That's right.
Yeah.
of things. But
Unfortunately, Lori and I are still news nerds, and I end up watching
Yes.
news all damn day. If I'm
Yeah,
not
that's-
making myself busy, CNN and going back and forth.
And of course, we can't just watch the news. We have to critique the news.
And when you say we,
Yes, we. have news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's a little different from, I mean, the typical, like, there's a hurricane or there's some other horrific event. You're like, I don't, let the kids watch this on the news. But like the news is like, all the imagery is so neutral. It's just like, here's a hospital and here's an empty street. And here's a bunch of numbers on the screen that your child may or may not be fully, comprehending. So when it comes to the news, I haven't really given much thought to it.
Bodies yet.
Yeah.
No, not
Right.
yet.
Yeah.
It's all
I don't know if you
abstract
guys have any-
unless it it's all abstract unless it hits home in some way, which you hope it doesn't. So
Right. Yeah, I don't know what in our lifetime would.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, it never happened, but when we lived down in Georgia, it was hurricanes in 2004, but
Yeah.
nothing.
A lot of those ended up being almost like false alarms. It's just weird. Like, I mean, when our kids are our age, they're going to be like, that
Time
that
I couldn't
thing?
go out to dinner on my birthday.
Remember when we spent 6 months inside the house? God forbid. Was that but
Yeah.
mentally
Someone-
prepare for.
There was like a
9/11
meme out the other day that said that this is our generation's uphill both ways. Uphill
saw
and
that.
snow both
Yeah.
ways.
yeah,
Do
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
think
there's
you're
been
bored? When I
there's
was
been some great
10, I
memes
was
out of this.
quarantined
There
for
has been.
6 months.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
We
a
were
big part of
inside
our day,
houses for
exchanging
3
memes.
years straight.
Yeah.
It's going to get longer and longer.
Uh,
Oh.
but
I mean, I was
the
thinking.
thing that they have the
I mean, there's two things in this that, you think about, well, what are the feelings it creates? And I mean, obviously there's a little bit of fear that goes with this, that feeling of lack of control, maybe. I think about 9/11 in that way, just that it changed everything in a way where we didn't know when are we going to feel safe again. And eventually we did, of course. But it did change things a little bit. And when this is over, you imagine some things will not go back to the way they were.
Yeah.
And you think about the economic impact, and I mean, obviously we all remember the crash of '08 and the succeeding years. But this is different because it's not an economic. It wasn't brought about by an economic factor; it's brought about by a social factor. So it's different in that way. But certainly there's going to be an economic impact here, and a lot of people are going to experience it the same way what happened 10 years ago did. A lot of people. So, but it's still
I agree.
unprecedented. It's the feelings are familiar, but it's still unprecedented because of the factors that created it.
I think it's going to last a lot longer than the actual coronavirus. The
The
fallout.
impact, the impact, the
Yeah, I agree.
social and economic impact. I mean, even
absolutely.
being in healthcare, like we're gonna feel the effects of this for years. This is, I mean, it's a scary time to work at a hospital, to be in a hospital, to worry about what you're bringing home. We have a decon station in the garage, so that's where. So we're
Wow.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So I mean, you just there is a constant worry associated with it, and the worry about how we're staying protected where we work. So
Are you running any shortages? Equipment-wise or
it's
anything?
yeah. So I mean, my husband, I think, is feeling that more than I am, because he works in a medical ICU at Presbyterian. So I'm feeling that less being on a specialty service, but I think we're starting to feel the constraints of protecting what we do have. So yeah, interesting times, no question.
Just today, I just started to see some video from inside some of the emergency rooms and such, maybe up in New York, and it's heartbreaking.
Hmm. And I was an ER nurse before I graduated and became a nurse practitioner, so that's very near and dear to me, and it pains me seeing what's been happening everywhere, not just here, but oh God, the videos coming out of Italy and what's been going on in their hospitals is it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting people die.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lori, I feel like we've been leaving you out here a little bit. so I'm going to drag you back
I'm
into the
a listener.
conversation here because you
I'm good.
specifically mentioned when you were talking to
She's
your son,
shy.
you specifically mentioned the Xbox. So I want to get your thoughts on curbing or curtailing video gaming because I know it's something. I guarantee it's something that almost every household's dealing with right now if they have kids around.
Yeah. Xbox. Fortnite.
Oh.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite.
Mhm. I think we're gonna have to make a schedule on Monday. I'm gonna have to like
Do it.
limit. Yeah.
Take the
We've been
and
kind
throw
of
it into the
lenient.
street.
We kind of let it go a little bit because it is unusual times. And,
Yeah.
and minutes can get awfully long for a kid, you know.
Yeah.
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 So we've kind of let it go some, but it's going to have
And
to.
he's talking to his friends on it too, so he keeps in touch
Right.
with
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, our
Oh,
daughter
that's
can
a good
FaceTime with some
feature.
friends too. Yeah, we're FaceTiming with some friends too. So yeah.
But that begs the
I
question.
mean, it's definitely a thing like
Right.
that. It's definitely something that, especially our youngest Mason is feeling.
Right.
Is like the feeling of isolation is just like a little bit unbearable sometimes. It's just like, where are the? I need to connect with these other kids, and I mean that's one. I mean, when he jumps on Fortnite, that's a really easy way. He's got like you got that long list that comes down. You're just
Yeah.
like, who's on? You know.
Right.
You try to track him
Yeah.
down and just get a game into. It was I don't know who said it last week during this very podcast when they were talking about kind of like not beating yourself up if your kid is on the screen for a little bit longer or you know because it's just not these are not ideal circumstances so you can't be expected to like maintain this like perfect rigid system in your household.
Yeah.
But the whole watching people
Absolutely.
play video games on YouTube, that's dumb.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And they like to do.
Oh, our
Oh,
kids. Yeah, there's a show on Amazon Prime. This guy playing Mario on Nintendo Switch. They're obsessed. It's episode after episode, and they just
What is it? Yeah, I don't get it.
well because when they get the Switch, they think they're going to get a Switch eventually. We'll see. But although we have talked about splurging while in quarantine, but yeah, so they'll be ready when they get the Switch, right? Because they've watched this guy play this game. So I guess that's the
Oh,
goal.
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But I mean, yeah, but you're right. I mean, you gotta give a little. I mean, we try to just get up in the morning, they're watching TV. We make sure they get some playtime. After lunch, we'll let them on the iPad for a couple hours before dinner, and that's then after dinner, it's generally just play and showers and whatever, and get to bed. So we try to break the day up a little bit as much as we can. I mean, it's all you can do, right? And just try and you don't want them on there for the full 10 hours a day that they're up for, but you gotta give them a few hours. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
there's only so much you can do in the house, even with all the toys they've got and everything. You got to give them a little downtime, and that's what that is. So
I try and get Braden outside a lot. When he's not online and not, doing
Yeah.
his schoolwork. If it's decent outside, we'll go out and throw football or kick a soccer ball or basketball or something just to get him moving. I mean, I don't move very well, but
as long as he's moving, you're good.
I found out I can't bend anymore. Those low pass killers, man.
Well, I mean, on top of all the orders that have been keeping us inside, I mean, in Pittsburgh, it's been really a lot of rain lately.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
it's
hard to
too
get
much.
outside. Cold. It's been. I think today we were lucky enough it maybe got up into the 60s today, and it was really nice
Beautiful today.
for a walk. But like, it's been a situation where you can't even go out into the yard for
No,
a lot of
'cause
these
it's too-
days.
it's too
It's
wet.
just too nasty out there.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, that's April and March, late March and early April in Pittsburgh, right? Rain, rain, rain. So
That's true.
It's the perfect recipe for cabin fever.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a very interesting report on the local news yesterday from John Shumway about the possible increases in abuse because of this.
Sure.
People being home, being forced together, and if you've got that issue in your life, or you've got that predisposition or whatever, that could really bring it out. And they've also they said they've noticed a decline in the calls reporting it because people can't get away from their abuser because they're stuck in the house with them. And it's kind of worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like the ramifications, like are everywhere. But I think you had the right idea today, honey, when you said like,
myself.
dude, I'm going upstairs. And I know I've done that. I may not have said, honey, I'm sick of this and I'm going upstairs. But I definitely have taken time where I've just been like, go upstairs to the room, shut the door, go for an hour. Because you've got to like establish. I think you just have to be on like you can't pretend that you're holding it all together because no one's holding it all together.
No.
You just gotta be like, dude, I'm at my max. I gotta check out for a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's like nobody's cute anymore. Nobody's ha ha ha. No, they're not. I love my
No, we all
children.
gotta take our
I mean,
we all gotta take our alone
everyone
time.
else are adorable.
Yeah.
Kids are getting older, so
We all gotta take our alone time. Go sit down and watch season 3 of 24 when Jack Bauer saves us all from the Cordilla virus.
I forgot about that. That's very
Yeah.
good. Right.
Hey.
You know, Horn.
Before this all happened, before this all happened, I was watching that season, and right in the middle of it, this happened. Like, wow, this is appropriate.
Love 24. Love
Oh
it.
yeah,
I
we could do
The
let's do a
show.
24 podcast. I'll go all day.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the few.
Very good show.
There's
Greatest show
time.
of all
That
time.
was
One of the
There was-
few appointment viewings we had to have, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. After
No, I
work,
missed
we
it
watch
first time around. I was into other shows at the time, and I just didn't have enough time to watch it. But I got it on Netflix, probably about 10 years ago. And my God, I was like, well, what did I miss?
Yeah,
Oh,
one
yeah.
after the other
Glorious
after the
Glorious
other.
Time,
right?
yes. Yeah, exactly.
oh. And I remember we got your
got my mom hooked on it
your
for a
mom
couple
at the time.
seasons. And the running gag the whole time was that like the action was very intense and
I
very
mean, the guy
fast.
got shot in
And
the
Jack Bauer would
kneecaps.
just turn around like bang, and he'd just run off. And like we'd be watching, and like mom would like turn to us and just be like, "He dead?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, he's dead. Bauer got him. Go, he's gonna get this guy next." So
He'd kill 40 in an
Yeah.
episode. Easy.
He was a
Yeah.
killing machine.
Lay down.
It was so hot doing it.
all right, let's just settle that.
Yeah, that's why I watch it too.
Yes.
I knew it hard.
Oh, that Kiefer. Woo!
I'm with you, Jen.
Tell you what, I have to respect, no doubt.
Chloe.
Chloe.
Damn it, Chloe.
Yeah,
She's
Chloe.
always concerned.
All right.
She's a look of concern.
Give me a name.
There's not enough time.
Now there's all the time in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's
Jack,
true.
just shut. Shut.
Does it
Five
feel like
people,
we're?
there's not
doesn't
time
it-
now?
Does it not feel like we're just all stuck in one long episode of 24 right now?
Yeah,
That's what I said to you.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's
wait a minute. I was like, what virus? I had to look it up, and I was like, yeah, the Cordilla virus from the Ukraines,
Jack Bauer had that sucker came
and the
in less
Chinese
than a
were
day.
involved.
Less than a day, Jack Bauer had that sucker done, over, finished, world saved.
No, it
We're
was
in
like a couple
week
episodes.
3.
No, the Chinese were not
couple
involved in the
episodes.
Cordilla virus. The Chinese did not come around until season 4. Come on, Jen. No, you're 24.
Oh.
I
All
just,
know
I
is
just
it
now
was the
I
greatest virus
forgot
ever,
about
and we
mom
had it
going,
handled.
is he dead?
Is that when Victor died? It was, remember Chloe's
So lay down.
friend? Did he die
Oh,
during
oh,
The
the
heavy,
other-
the heavy dude.
No, we're talking about
Yeah,
Edgar.
I think he.
Edgar. Yeah.
Edgar. Edgar was the Sentox nerve gas in season 5.
Yeah, he was at the outside of that door, kind of just slowly
Yep.
going down the door.
Yeah.
Yep, that was all. That was a tearjerker right there.
It
It was.
Oh,
Yeah.
this podcast has taken the most delightful turn. I'm so happy about this right now.
Oh.
Oh,
I bored.
We
This
should talk
has
about
been-
that
Previously on 24.
previously on 24.
It's true.
They want to have
Rein us back in,
more
Matt.
thoughts on 24.
Oh, I could go all night. I'm trying to hold back here a little bit.
Hey, I noticed today was supposed to be Major League Baseball opening day,
Yeah.
as if that's ever been a thought in your mind. But I know we have great sports fans here.
Yes.
So Horn's a diehard. Well, a lot of you guys are diehard Pens, diehard lead
Yep.
Pirates. Give or take.
Lucas.
I mean, this is like
It is. The,
I mean, it's
the
just
opening
one
day of 2011
less
is on right
distraction
now.
that you have.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can we watch? Showed the blackout, the wild card game.
the local station replayed the blackout game.
Yeah, the other
Pirates.
night.
Yeah,
That
there's
was
a lot of
thanks so much.
replays coming our way, I think. So that'll be cool at
It's
least.
enjoyable.
I think
We
they were
watched
replaying the
50th anniversary of the Pens last night. That was really good.
yeah. They were replaying the 2019 NHL draft today or
Cool.
yesterday or
Nice.
something like
See,
that.
all
That's
kinda
what
neat
they.
things.
But, I don't
Okay.
know.
Is that when Sabres tanked to get
Oh, thank McDavid. Yeah, I don't know if that
Connor
worked out for
McDavid.
them.
Jen, you know I
Are
don't pay
guys-
attention to the Sabres.
Well, I'm just. Are you guys trying to supplement your sports intake, or are you just like giving up and just like forget it? Just let me know when the real games start. Just
I mean, I might catch some of the replays on AT&T if I can. But I mean, between working, schooling the kids, and streaming this odd show that I get a chance to, I'm really not missing it as much as I thought I would right now. But it's kind of like it's not there. So what choice do you have?
I have a
Let's
nice
talk to the
collection of a lot
retired
of
guy.
old. Go ahead, honey. We'll echo. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Let's talk to the retired guy.
Let's do that.
What are you watching, Lucas?
I have a nice collection of a lot of older games, and baseball, some football, and all that. So I'll watch those. 60 World Series I watched last night, a couple nights ago.
Cool.
2011 opening game is over here right now playing. It's Clint Hurdle's first game. It's quite interesting to
Wow.
watch.
nice.
So, Neil Walker just hit a grand slam, just in case you wanted to know. It just kind of makes me
Man,
sad.
Remember him? We got a pack of
I mean, I
gum
think-
for him.
Whenever the sports can come back, I don't think anybody's going to complain about whatever they do. I mean, if they once they're back, welcome back the distraction. If hockey plays in July and August, so be it. I
Absolutely.
think whatever they can do, I think people are going to welcome it and they're going to eat it up, and that's going to be a good thing for everybody. It'll be a sense of normalcy, even though it might not be at the normal time you might attend these games or watch these games. People will welcome it back.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
just
There's
a
gonna be
question of when
hunger.
that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
I know.
demand.
I know. Being a Bills fan, I'm
Oh.
quite happy that Tom Brady isn't in the same division anymore. So I am very much looking forward to football this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. That was good.
It all comes back to Buffalo, apparently.
Just the Bills. I couldn't tell you who's
Just
on the
the Bills.
Sabres to save my life.
Jack Eichel, that's about all I know.
I couldn't tell you. But Tom Brady's gone, so that makes me happy.
That's all that matters to Jen.
We all
That's
know
what
that.
I'll remember. That's what I'll remember in like 10 years. Oh, Tom Brady's gone.
Yeah, you
The
gotta,
coronavirus
remember when we were all
came.
locked up in our homes
but-
and Tom Brady got out.
The coronavirus
He
came.
just got out of his house.
Took
and
out Tom
escaped.
Brady.
All right. I feel like we're winding down. My can is empty.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to go around the horn one time and just like ask if you guys have any kind of like maybe not words of wisdom, but I don't know, anything uplifting or inspiring that you want to share, or maybe something that you've learned over the last couple weeks that can maybe help folks out if they're watching or listening with us right now. And let's start. I'll just go right to left. Sarah, start with you.
I have learned that I have no wisdom going into this. And it's I got nothing. This is exhausting. Do you know what I do know? I give Mom all the credit in the world for raising us heathens. That is what I know to be true. Is Mom Eileen Carlins, I already knew she was a saint, but that woman is truly a saint in my mind. I will say though, I do think the implementation of the schedule, even if it's not perfect, has been very helpful because it at least like serves as some sort of guide, because I obviously don't have school or anything else to like focus the kids in. So that has at least given us something to go off of, even if it's and to just be more forgiving with yourself. And I think like someone else said, like, who cares if the kids play Xbox or if we watch Frozen 3 times in one day? Like, the kids are happy, they're healthy, and at the end of the day, that's the important thing.
What about the Frozen soundtrack?
It
karaoke.
stops automatically after 3 times, so you have to really watch that spacing.
That's another
Been
lie
there.
she told to her kids, by the way, if you guys aren't following
This
along.
is basically this is just going to be. I should keep a notebook of lies I told my children during quarantine, because it's going to be That's going to be a bestseller right there. So right now I'm on broccoli apples,
Good
and
one.
soundtracks automatically stop after 3 plays. So and then that's it for the rest of the day, and you have to wait till the next day to play it again.
Pretty good.
You just wrote 2 chapters right there. This is, book writes itself. Book writes itself.
Right?
it
That's what I'm
does.
saying. And fish play hide and seek.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, this has got Hallmark store written all over it, Sarah. So I like that right now.
Thank you so much.
Lori, let's get some wisdom from you if you have any.
words of wisdom. I came into this knowing that teachers have a hard job. Teachers have a really, really hard job. And I know you really have to love it. And you have to really love the kids. I give our teachers a lot of credit for what they go through on a daily basis. Because I've realized that it's not something that I'm good at or could do. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick that field. Glad I picked television instead. Because that was good. Anyway, yeah. And the schedule thing, I think we're gonna have to implement a schedule. I got the stink eye when I brought that up today from the child, but yeah, I think we're gonna have to limit the Xbox and yeah, work out a schedule. Really don't have any other words of wisdom, I guess.
I'll echo your thoughts about the teachers, because it's amazing how much the teachers, especially for our oldest, how much they've reached out and just tried making an effort just to stay connected with them while we're in this kind of like lapse between, you know, no more school and we might give you something to do while you're at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. So nothing but respect for the teacher. Dawn, any wisdom?
Let me unmute myself. I guess would be very cliche, but you know, this is temporary. I found myself getting very sad about it at times. Like the other day, what was it, Saturday, Sunday? The teachers all got in their cars and went around to all the neighborhoods in school. A parade of like 40 cars through the neighborhoods. So all the kids came out and they were beeping their horns and the kids had signs, but you know, there was 30, 40 feet distance between them. And all they could do was kind of wave. And it was really kind of sad, you know, I thought. But then, you know, like you guys were saying, they're going to have some good memories out of this too. You know, maybe, hopefully, family time and stuff. And just, it's very cliche, but it'll pass, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. That's my wisdom.
Yeah. Horn?
Yeah, you know, I just think control what you can control on this, and that's our attitudes, right? Especially for the kids' sake. I mean, check your politics and your tinfoil hats at the door, and just make this a fun time for the kids as much as you can. Just be there for them. If you project that everything's going to be okay, then that's what they'll believe, and hopefully this will just be white noise to them, and they'll just enjoy the time. And I think hopefully at the end of this, that's what you want, is that the kids don't look back on this as that much of a scary time, and that they enjoyed, you know, the break and the togetherness. And hopefully that's what you come out of this with, if everything works out.
Do you have any wisdom, honey? Nope.
Really.
Great. All right.
No.
I like the mommy timeout.
I do.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was a
that.
good one.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I like that.
Kudos on that.
It just happened to happen around 3:00. Hey,
Right around that time.
Something with the
Just the perfect time, right?
You know, I just had to see what that Stefano Demiro was doing this time.
I know I'm having a hard day, but how's Stefano Demiro?
You know, the Phoenix rose again, but it's not
Hey,
him.
no spoilers.
Oh, come on, whatever. I'd have to say about, you know, the teachers and stuff. You know, next school year they want 100 glue sticks.
I'm ready.
You're getting your 100 glue sticks.
when the year started, they couldn't get enough paper and glue sticks. Now we're
I
like,
mean, do you want
double their pay, triple their pay. Like it's gone to the complete opposite side.
you want your 3 boxes of tissues? No, you're getting a crate.
Yeah, we'll take everything.
I'm just giving them. You want highlighters? I'll get you highlighters.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you need. What do you need?
Absolutely.
Jen
A little
driving in
overhead
pallets of
projector thing with
supplies.
layer and whatnot.
Just airdrop them.
Airdrop.
Yeah. Drone.
They deserve it all.
Yes.
We're coming up on 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so it's time to wrap this thing up. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us, everybody. I hope you got a little bit something out of this. It's always nice to talk to other adults and catch up with people I haven't seen in as long. Been too long, definitely, for Sean and Lori. Sarah, I see her all the time, so.
Hey, I miss you too. Little
I miss you too.
quarantine snot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I am happy Facebook has the videos.
Oh, video chatting. I mean, that's
So
been a
we do
savior.
get
Oh
to
yeah,
see-
that's been a lifesaver. That's
It
been a
helps.
lifesaver.
Video video chatting for the birthday cake. It's a great way to loop in about 8 or 9 relatives into the candle blowout. So did that on.
Oh yeah, that's been hilarious. That's been a good time.
No, there'll be another birthday next year, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but
I've heard they're annual.
that birthday is the most important birthday. You know, that's
I guess
that's
so.
the
Yes.
one.
A year. That's 10 years from
Yeah.
now. You know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, don't think about that too much. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like I said, thanks a lot for hanging out with us tonight, everybody, and please stay safe, stay healthy, and as for you folks who were kind enough to listen, we thank you. Listen to Your Parents Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Go check it out. Thanks to Sorgatron Media and Mike Sorg for pushing all the button knobs, and we will see you next time.